My mom literally called the sheriff department the day before because he was stalking her. She even showed them that the PTO that she was granted for life Wednesday from the divorce, and they did nothing. Had they had someone walked out with her, like her friend asked, she would still be here.
40 miles south of Atlanta is a city called Griffin. Griffin is located in Spalding County and has a population of around 23,000 people. But even though it's about 45-minute drive to the heart of Atlanta, it is still considered part of the metropolitan area. Then right outside of Griffin is a town with less than 100 people called Milner, and that is where a successful black businesswoman named Krystal Mallory resided. She had recently moved into a beautiful home with plenty of space and square feet, and the same could be said for the many acres outside the home with beautiful trees all over. It was definitely her place of peace and serenity with the hustle and bustle of life. But in recent months, things for the mother of two began to become more strained after some legal issues with her estranged ex-husband. Even though Krystal was trying to move forward and do things the right way through the court system, it seems that her ex had other plans. Krystal would begin outing him for his alleged scandalous affairs that involved him personally cheating and bad business decisions. However, deep dark secrets about her ex would come out that allegedly led to Krystal tragically losing her life. Though the last year had been turbulent for 44-year-old Krystal, she tried to find her peace through the chaos. In the second week of September 2024, she had some things that happened to her that gave her renewed hope for humanity after a very troubling time in her life. On the 9th of September 2024, she was at her normal nail salon getting fully pampered when a nice gentleman took up a conversation with her. He left before she did, and when she was finished, she was told that the gentleman paid her $220 bill at the salon. It was a great gesture for a woman who had been through so much over the years with DV in her marriage. Then that same day, one of her neighbors brought her over warm banana nut bread, and again, that gesture made her day go from great to phenomenal. Maybe this all was a sign that her life was finally going to change for the better. Krystal was the mother of two 20-something adult daughters and a Mimi. She loved her girls and her grandson wholeheartedly, and whenever she had free time, she spoiled her little man with gifts and trips. Before getting a divorce from the 55-year-old Tom Mallory, the pair seemed to be like the perfect couple from the outside looking in. They had their business, the kids, they took beautiful trips, and they were what some people would have called living the life. However, just because things seem good on social media does not mean that it is totally opposite in real life. Apparently, after things became so bad between the two, Krystal started a paper trail on Facebook. On February 20th, 2023, she wrote, "Please know if something happens to me, Tom Mallory did it. He will not stop messing with me and harassing me. I want him to stop following me, trying to show up everywhere I am. I have a divorce in order plus a PTO being filed. I hate that I have to do this, but he will not stop. Please go on with your life and leave me alone. Please, if something happens to me, please make sure that this is the man that is held accountable for his actions. I have been living in this hell trying to get away from this man." So according to Krystal, he was following not only her, but passing by her mother's home all the time in his black truck, even though they had cameras. These are just a few or more messages she had on Facebook over a period of time. One said, "Leave my children and my mother alone. There are pictures of you following them and hounding them. People are watching you. If they get hurt, if you hurt them, I'm going to the police. You have no business at the children's home or my mother's. Leave us alone." Then she also said, "It's sad that I have to walk around terrified for my life and my children's. I know if something happens to me, please know who did it. This man has said numerous times that he's going to unalive me. I am posting and trying to leave a paper trail. This man is extremely dangerous. I have plenty of people who have heard him say this and that he's told this to as well. Leave me alone." Krystal was constantly trying to stay positive and optimistic, but so much was going on. Even with a protection order granted by a judge for life, it did not stop Thomas' obsession with his ex. It also seemed that he was doing anything and everything to make her life difficult when it came to their business and equipment that was in her name. Tom allegedly ran off with the equipment, which consisted of big dump trucks, bobcats, tools, and other property. Krystal had receipts for everything, from Tom telling people he did business with to contact her to pay for his debts after the divorce. He also was trying to sell off things that he did not own. Krystal took to social media again and said, "This is a public notice. If you buy any equipment or trucks or tools or properties from Tom Mallory, you will be caught up in a legal problem. He is not supposed to be selling anything. You will be subpoenaed from my lawyer. I will tread lightly when dealing with this man because there is a lot of legal woes behind it. You will be caught up in litigation. I have spoken to a few respectfully. They are not happy. Then this here, another item that is not being paid on, but being used. How are you going to keep these people's stuff and not pay for it? And have them come at me, but want to tell everybody it's my fault? Something is getting repossessed. No, dude, you're not paying the bills. So if you guys see this Bobcat with the serial number, they're looking for it and everything else. He is not paying just a con artist. Bad business. That's special education." Now, Tom appeared to be playing a messy game that kept the two wrapped up in court. Then on August 12, 2024, is when a major bombshell and allegation was put out on social media for all to hear and see. To add insult to injury, Krystal was so fed up that she let everyone know her ex had been messing with other men, down low and living a double life. Not just that, but Tom allegedly had been spending major money on the men, and he also bought a man a car. So with the DV between the two, shady business practices, and being down low, no telling she wanted out of the relationship and for him to move on. But it appears that he was not going to let go that easy. Plus, in the midst of this, Krystal's beloved mother would pass away August 28, 2024. So she was doing everything she could to hold it together in mind, body, and spirit. One of the last posts Krystal made was on September 12, 2024, the day before the two had yet another court hearing. She said, "Dude, please leave me alone. It's over. Move on with your life, please, respectfully." The next day, they both appeared in court, and the judge issued a warrant for Tom's arrest, but gave him the option to turn himself in on Monday, September 16, 2024. After the hearing was over, Krystal and Tom both left the courthouse, but did not get far before tragedy took place, and the family would blame Spalding County law enforcement for what happened. This is what authorities had to say about the horrific day after court, plus more. For a fact, person that started the rumors that Krystal asked for an escort has admitted it was a lie. Clerks at the magistrate office were asked, not a deputy, and a deputy was never requested by anyone to escort her. Video from the lobby shows that as Krystal walked through the lobby, she passed deputies and did not ask for assistance either. She walked out of the courthouse to her car that was parallel parked facing north on 6th Street, and she entered it. Tom was in a second car traveling north on 6th Street with the traffic flow. He stopped beside her car when she was sitting, fired multiple rounds through the passenger side window of his car, and multiple rounds sadly would hit Krystal. There were deputies on the front of the courthouse, and when they heard the shots, they responded. Tom, by this time, was driving off and turned east on Solomon Street. A marked police unit got behind him, and Tom refused to stop. When he finally did stop, he shot himself in the head, but he did survive. In the past, police have received multiple calls to the Mallory residence. Both would claim that the other started the fights. On occasions where witnesses were present and interviewed by deputies, they said they didn't see anything or said it didn't happen like it was described by either Tom or Krystal. On other occasions, it was her word against his or his word against hers, with no marks on either except old bruising or no marks at all. On one occasion, when furniture and other items were damaged, both agreed that the fight was mutual, and they both caused the damage observed by deputies. There was information then given about services available to them for help and counseling. Under Georgia Family Incident Law, it says that the primary aggressor shall be arrested. If witnesses didn't see anything, both parties say that both fought mutually. All marks or bruises appear to be old, and there's no physical evidence found, no arrest can be made. There was time when she claimed he hit her and pulled a gun on her. Then there were times where he claimed she got upset with him and shot at him. This was all by definition a toxic relationship. In these situations where no one can be determined to be the primary aggressor, both parties are given information about contacting the magistrate judge on their own to see if the judge can have a hearing that will issue a warrant. On one occasion, Tom was in fact arrested by deputies but posted bond. He was at the courthouse just as she was for their hearing. From what we can find, the only people that were at the hearing were Tom, Krystal, their attorneys, the judge, and a friend of Krystal's, who was the same person that allegedly lied about asking the deputies for an escort. They are the only ones who know for a fact what was said and what happened according to authorities. As far as the judge's orders for him to turn himself in on that Monday, authorities could not speak on that, but went on to say no one is picking one person over the other or believes one over the other. No one is blaming Krystal for what happened to her. We have to take facts and evidence and weigh them against the law in order to act. This is a horrible thing that happened, and people are emotional and angry about it. Krystal's family believes she did no wrong and he was the bad guy. Tom's family believes he did no wrong and she is the bad guy. Everyone else just picks a side to stand with, authorities will further say. Deputies don't have the options to arrest based on who has the most followers, and that's not how it works. Do improvements need to be made to the law? Yes, they do. Maybe it wasn't a deputy or the agency that failed. Maybe it was the law itself, the deputy would express. The last thing the deputy made clear were that deputies that allegedly refused to escort her are the same ones that removed her from the car, tried to control her bleeding, and tried to save her life. That was the lengthy statement from law officials, and the family believed she would still be alive if someone walked her to her car. However, let me know your thoughts, because from what I have gathered doing hundreds of stories like this, there is sadly no protection order that can save someone if that person is determined to unalive you. Like I have said in the past, you have to basically leave your whole life behind and not have no contact with no one and go into protective custody. It is just that serious. If a person like Tom has access to you, nothing will stop them. Look at how many people are literally unaliving police these days, so you have to fall off the map. Forget your life as you know it. If you want to save your life, you may not like it, but in the long run, you will be alive and most likely be able at some point to have freedom again.
New tonight at 11, we're hearing from the family of a woman shot outside of the Spalding County Courthouse. And tonight, the daughter of Krystal Evans says her mother did not have to die because she believes law enforcement actually dropped the ball because of a history of domestic between her mother and the suspect.
Well, Ron, tonight authorities have identified the suspect as Mr. Tom Mallory. Adding to her pain, Precious Evans tells me Mallory is her biological father.
I mean, I feel like I don't have nobody.
Precious Evans says she lost both of her parents at the same time.
I don't have nobody to lean on.
She says she watched her comforter, her mother, Krystal Evans, go through an ugly divorce with her father for a year.
She was so happy after her divorce. She felt free. You know, we were even talking about doing a party.
However, throughout that year, she also says she witnessed disturbing behavior. Krystal posts a cry for help on Facebook last year saying, "Please know if something happens to me, Tom Mallory did it."
Even after the divorce, this man literally texted her, "Not happening."
Precious says her mother was at the Spalding County Courthouse for a hearing connected to their separation Friday afternoon.
The judge did issue a warrant. Instead of the judge taking him in right then and there, the judge said that he could turn himself in Monday night.
In a lengthy Facebook post, Sheriff Daryl Dix says Krystal walked out of the courthouse to her car where Mallory met her, shooting her multiple times from the window. Mallory did not stop for police and eventually shot himself. He's alive, but Evans is not, which Precious believes could have been prevented.
My mom literally called the sheriff department the day before because he was stalking her, and they did nothing.
I'm truly disturbed that Krystal had to go through this, and she did not deserve it, and her life definitely mattered. I pray that if he pulls through, that full justice will be served, and I'm sure he will not see the light of day again. All Krystal wanted was to be left alone and constantly begged Tom to move on. He knew that he had a great woman, but wanted to have his other life as well, and life doesn't work that way. He should have done his own thing and came out of the closet if the allegations were true, but instead he was captivated by an image of what he wanted people to see. My heart breaks for her daughters, her grandbaby, and all her many other loved ones, and I'm praying for all in this heavy time. So please don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for this family in their difficult time, and hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.